couple more people coming in. We'll let them get in and then we'll start. Well, good afternoon. And what a beautiful day to be a golden bear. My goodness, the weather has just been magnificent. The sun is shining, and I thank all of you for coming here, either in person or we do have it on our webcast, which is the reason I'm supposed to stay between these two blue lines. Now, the orneriness in me when they tell me to do that gives me this feeling to maybe go to either side and see if they really can see me. But that's, I won't do that, I promise. So. I first would like to recognize a couple of our guests that we have here today special. Our Board of Visitors, we have a couple of members of our Board of Visitors who are here. Our chairman, which is also a member of our Board of Governors, Mr. Ed Robinson, and Miss Sally Smith. We're so glad to have you. And one of our faculty members that retired this year, Sally's husband, Reggie, we're glad to have you back. The mayor of the town of Beckley, Mr. Rob Rappaport, and his lovely wife. And I think we have a couple of members of the city council, and of course that work with the mayor and does their events. We're so glad to have any and all of you here. Thank you for coming. You know, I want to remind everyone that's here, that's a faculty or a staff or a member, that we do have 2 provost candidates that will be coming to campus here on Tuesday and Thursday, and we want to make sure that you read your emails. They have their CVs, and come to the open forum. Folks, encourage your faculty members and staff to come because your opinion counts. I want to hear from you. This person is very important to us, and I want to know what you think as we do that. So, I'd like to take one moment of silence for all the tragedies that we've had throughout the last month or so. We certainly are thinking of our fellow citizens in Texas and in Mexico and in Florida and now in Las Vegas. So let's just take a moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. Our prayers will be with them. So, what do we do now? We're here. You know, in 2012 when I came, I asked all of you to think about how did we need and what did we need to do to move forward. On the tech campus at that time, there was a lot of uncertainty, there was a lot of fear, and yes, there was some anger. And that was very much the reality we were living with on that campus at the time. As an old school teacher, and I'm sure many of you at the beginning of that thought, what is she doing here? And even some of you today may think that. But I coined the 3 R's: recruit, retain, and rebuild. Now it's 5 years later, and let's take a look at how things have changed. And boy, have they changed. And how some of them have not changed, and we're glad about that. First, let's talk about recruit. We have had over the last 5 years an increase in enrollment every year. Some years are better than others. Some were just barely. And as you'll see this year and a little later, some of them have been magnificent. But everyone has pitched in and found ways to say to the world, WVU Tech will not go softly into the night. We are still as academically strong as we've ever been, and we are still your best investment in the state and one of the best investments in the United States. We have a great group of recruiters and admission team that have spent their days finding ways to get more students invested in coming to Tech. We have faculty members that go to high schools, work with teachers, come in on Saturdays to the open houses to meet with parents and students. We have members of my administrative team that are always thinking of ways to reach out to students. But the best recruiter of all is still our current students and our alums. They are the example of who we are and what we can become by being a golden bear. Our next R was to retain. Now that one has been a struggle. With all of the challenges, sometimes the headlines that did not put us in the most favorable light, and of course the move. In 2012, our retention rate from first to second year was 42%. By anyone's standards, that's not good. The rate rose in 2015 to 58% and went back to 54% last year, and we think that was because of the move. Our new rate, which you will see a little later, shows just what hard work and great teamwork happens. The Student Success Center has worked extremely hard to work with our students and keep them on track to come back. Our faculty has gone above and beyond in making students in their classes, making sure they're there, that they're referred to tutoring if they need it, and they have stepped up their game in the areas of teaching. Thank you all for the great job you have done. The third R is rebuild. Now, folks, in 2012, rebuild meant something very different than it does today. Anyone that tells you that they were sitting in that room when I talked about rebuild in 2012 and had the vision of what we're going to do today, I will ask them to wait for me outside and we're going to go buy a lottery ticket. Those were the years that we talked about what it would take to bring WVU Tech into the future. We have been challenged to think big, have big ideas, and to work hard. I don't think any of us were prepared for the big ideas and the hard work that were to follow. An opportunity presented itself that gave us the chance to live up to the challenge of thinking big. The decision to move our campus to Beckley was a difficult one for many. The act of moving a 120-year-old institution was even harder. Students, employees, faculty, staff, alums, all of us showed their support, their flexibility, their tenacity, their hard work, and it did not go unnoticed. Again, our facility staff did a wonderful job in making all of this work. Now, just think of all of you, last time that you moved. Everybody's moved. You got to decide what to take with you, what not. Some cases you pack it and unpack it 2 or 3 times before you ever send it out. Then you move it. Then you get it. And then you have a new space. And you think, where am I going to put it? Will it fit? You open that box and you say, oh heavens, why did I bring that? All of those things. Well, the facility people did 10 football fields of that to come to Tech. So, when you got in your new place, you had to think about how to do that. Your family was upset a little bit, so we all are going to have some patience as we continue to unpack. I was in the Bears Den today, and I had a faculty member tell me that he came to Tech 15 years ago. And yesterday, he unboxed a box that he brought 15 years ago that he had not unboxed before. So not only had he taken through one move, he brought it to Beckley and opened it, and surprise, surprise. So, of course, it's just kind of like the socks in the dryer also. There are things that you think, I know I brought it. I know it's here, but we'll just have to find it. Nothing is perfect, but we're going to make this work. So, the blood, sweat, and tears that we put into this made the transition possible. Is it perfect? Heavens, no. Have we worked all the kinks out? Not even close. But we're here today to celebrate the fruits that we've already seen from our labor. Now let's talk about our successes. WVU Tech student body remains diverse with students from all walks of life. The vast majority of our students are from West Virginia, and the others come to us from almost every state in the union. But we also have students, more than 30 states, and as far as away, Alaska and Hawaii. And if anyone sees our little student that's from Hawaii, I promised her she came without a coat. and explained to her that she's going to need a coat, and I promised I'd buy her one. So if you see her, it's getting close. She's going to need a coat soon, okay? But she actually came and she said she did not own a coat. So maybe she should see the one from Alaska and they could trade a little bit. So. And then we have our wonderful international students from 20 countries. It's not our student body that's just growing in size and scope. We're experiencing renewed interest in all of our academic programs, especially ones like forensic investigation and nursing. We've added a minor in adventure recreation, and we're looking at other expansions that would benefit the state and the region. We're expanding our pathway programs in healthcare and have established pathways for our students to go to the osteopathic school and to know by the time they're a junior, at the end of their junior year, whether they can go to med school. We're working with WVU in the pharmacy school to do exactly the same thing. And we are working on 2 similar pathways to dentistry and law. What a change this could be for this area of the state, where students could have the opportunities to get their bases here and then go to Morgantown to extend their careers, and all of it to be seamless. And then, of course, we have our ABET accredited engineering programs that are still going very strong. We continue to be listed among the top 100 undergraduate engineering programs in the nation. In fact, we're the only undergraduate engineering program in the entire state to make the top 100 this year. And the WVU system has more ABET accredited programs than all other colleges in West Virginia combined. Golden Bears also have a big heart. Here they have even more opportunities to share their caring spirit with the community and with those in need. Since we've come to Beckley, we've seen a dramatic increase in community service projects and in partnerships. Just this August, our new students logged an incredible 800 service hours in a single day. Our wonderful students, life staff worked every day to find ways to make our students more productive and pleased with our services and opportunities they're given. We're always encouraging our students to make use of their time and talents in the service to the community. It's part of what makes them so grounded and so special. It's also part of the bright vision that we envision for tech. I'm very excited to see how those energetic young people are going to throw all of that energy into improving the lives of Beckley, Raleigh County, and Southern West Virginia. Now let's look at a short video of our students during their August projects this August. The community has been incredible and has welcomed us with open arms. The business community, especially the great support that we've had from the Beckley-Raleigh Chamber of Commerce, have been so very helpful. And businesses throughout the area have extended discounts to our Golden Bears. Local churches have hosted welcome dinners and get-togethers for the WVU Tech students, faculty, and staff. Our forensic investigation program is already working with a unique partnership with the Beckley Police Department, and we are looking for more internship opportunities for our students. These partnerships also allow the community to take stock in their university and to realize the benefit of having a land-grant institution in their own backyard. Now, in the terms of athletics, our students are becoming a part of this community with a bang. Thanks to our partnership with Woodrow Wilson High School, the YMCA, Glade Springs Golf Courses, the beautiful facilities at the Linda K. Epling Stadium, and the Klein Soccer Fields, and the MOU that gives us use of the summit for our cross-country activities, our students now have access to world-class facilities with wonderful support from the community. Please note that all of our teams are doing well, but I would like to tell you that our women's volleyball team is on track to have the winningest season in WVU or West Virginia Tech history. They are doing magnificent. We go to volleyball games and the gym is full. It's been wonderful. I thank all of the faculty and the staff and the students that come in and support our kids. You know, we wouldn't be able to realize any of this, though, if it weren't for our home base right here, where the students can thrive. To make this home of the Golden Bears, we've spent a year of renovating buildings, installing state-of-the-art lab spaces, giving our athletes new locker rooms, creating spaces where students can study, work, and just hang out. We've opened up our popular Student Success Center and the WVU Tech Bookstore in the library. We've created the Benedum Events and Activities Room. We call it the Bear, where the SGA is headquartered and where the student organizations conduct their businesses. We have opened up the Tech Spot at the LRC with great food and Starbucks coffee. And yes, they're making frappuccinos, whatever in the world that is. Okay, this is also the beginning of Homecoming Week, where the theme is home is where the bear is. We're now in our new home, and so is the bear. If you have not had the opportunity to see the bear in the rotunda of the LRC, please go and take a look. The bear is there to see, to touch, and I hope not to ride, but I think that's probably too much to ask. The bear has been, we've fixed the paw on the bear, and it's been just cleaned up, but it's exactly the bear that stood outside of Tech since 1966, I understand, is when the bear was put on the rotunda. So we're glad to have it home. As you know, we're also a part of the WVU system. We've been working more and more collaboratively with our fellow partners in the system. Being a part of that system means our students, faculty, our staff, and our alums have access to resources to all corners of West Virginia. Being a part of the system also means we have some access to some very exciting opportunities. We have a launch lab on our campus that helps us for our students and our community to come up with business ideas and get those businesses up and running. We have the WVU School of Law Clinic here on campus that will allow that the well-known institution bring its legal expertise to Beckley. And we are very proud to be a part of this extended university family, and we're grateful for the support that they have shown in our transition. They helped to get us here today, and they'll play a big role in our future as we expand here. Now let's talk about our future. But first, I want to give you some of the numbers that I alluded to early. Retention. As I said, we have had a substantial increase from our last year's rate of 54, or our highest rate of 58. The retention rate for this year is 67%. That is unbelievable. It is so unbelievable that when they gave me the figures about a week ago on the morning, I sent them back and said, go do those again. You need to recalculate those. I don't think those are right. That is just quite phenomenal. And I can't say enough for all of the people, the faculty, the staff, the Success Center, our student support services, facilities, everybody that made these young men and women know that the right thing to do was to come back to Tech. So I thank them. Now let's talk about enrollment. Last year, our enrollment was 1,320. When I came in 2012, and please don't, I'm not sure exactly, I didn't look it up, but it was 960 some. I'm not going to give you an exact figure because those will not come out until week after next, but I will tell you that our goal was 1,500. And when those figures come out in a week from now, they will be 1,600 plus. More than we have ever had since the schools divided. So, again, this is what hard work and teamwork will do. What a wonderful job. Now what? Can I go in our offices, put our feet up, turn the music on, and put the music on and relax? I don't think so. Isn't going to happen. You know, I think of this as they did back in the pioneer days. Our pioneers made some very, very difficult decisions to move from where they had been for many, many years to a new land. They traveled a long way with some very difficult obstacles to overcome. Weather, terrain, people who didn't want them to go through their land, equipment, issues, water, food, and supplies. Some people made the decision not to make the trip. Some started the trip and some turned back. And some came but didn't like it and returned to a different life. But no matter, once they got to their destination, the hard work had just begun. They needed to find shelter. They needed to plow and plant new crops and find ways to make this land their home and to begin to grow communities. In many ways, that's who we are. We've made it to the new land, but the work of making this our community has just started. Just like the pioneers, we have such an opportunity to keep the values and the culture we believe is WVU Tech. We also have the opportunity to reshape any of the culture that we feel is not productive for us in the future. In the next few weeks, I will be asking the faculty and staff to join my administrative staff as we start to talk about what do we look like in 10 years. Not just buildings, but academic atmosphere, student life, and faculty and staff satisfaction. As we start down this road, I ask for patience. We've made some assumptions that were right on. We've also made that were a little wrong. And we've made some that have been dead wrong. We're working on all of those assumptions and working out the kinks. Just like the pioneers, we can't expect everything to be perfect, and we must find ways to make what we have work until we find solution to several of the apparent problems we are facing. But also, just like the pioneers again, we must celebrate the wonderful opportunities we've been given and be patient and kind to each other as we find our way through this adventure. We moved to campus. We made a very important step toward a bright future. It took all of us to get here, and it will take all of us to move forward. I would like to leave you with a couple of quotes about change. One is typical me. When you're finished changing, you're finished. And the other is a Chinese proverb that's probably a little more acceptable. A wise man adapts himself to the circumstances as water shapes itself to the vessel that contains it. I believe we have a campus of wise men and women who will make this work, make this place grow, and make it thrive. We are golden bears, and no one will tell us we can't be the very best there is. I can't thank all of you for your support. I look forward for us working together so we can continue the legacy of academic excellence, student-centered thoughts, commitment to our land grant, and a loving and a supportive environment. Thank you very much, and let's go Golden Bears. Yeah.